We're joined in the media center by our current #1 qualifier in top fuel, Richie Crampton, 3.733 seconds at 323.50 miles per hour. He has one #1 qualifying position thus far this season. Coming way back in Gainesville, you guys have been kind of pecking away at it this summer. If this is the time to start peaking, this is the time of year to do it, right?
Yeah, obviously in the countdowns when you want to run your best, and you can't start a weekend much better than being on the pole, and hopefully that'll give us possibly a softer first round draw on Sunday, but we can't take anyone lightly anymore either. So doesn't mean a huge amount in the big scheme of things to me. It's all about what we can do out here in the hot weather on Sunday. But it is pretty cool to be back on the pole because it's been a long time since Gainesville.
Do you last year Dale Worsham was a funny car driver that most of the top teams didn't take so seriously. Do you feel like you're that guy in Top Fuel?
I guess a little, yeah. I mean, I think the Top Fuel field know what Aaron Brooks and my team are capable of, but we've stumbled a lot this year. So yeah, I think they take us a little lighter than they did, say, last year when we finished #3 in the championship and won 5 races. We've only been to one final round this year, so I think if we get our race car back, like we know Aaron Brooks can run one, we might catch a lot of them by surprise, and no better time to do it than this last 5 races. So it's pretty exciting for me.
Brandon, I think a lot of people feel like you're in the car for such a small amount of time. It's pretty much just point A, point B, you're done. What is the major difference to you as a driver when you're driving in perfect conditions with cloud cover, cool temps, and driving when it's hotter and the track is a little slicker? What changes in that 4 seconds?
Well, like tonight, for instance, I rolled up under the tower here, and I knew I could see 108 degrees on the mellow yellow track display there, and I knew I had a cool racetrack to work with, and I was seeing a lot of mid-370 runs ahead of us. So tonight I wasn't really thinking much about smoking the tires or dropping cylinders. I knew if we went, it was going to be fast. Now, when fast forward to this Sunday, for instance, we know it's going to be hot. It's going to be tough for these race cars to fire on all 8 cylinders and not spin the tires. So in the back of your mind, you want to be ready to catch it if it starts to spin or does something silly. So it's kind of hard to explain. I guess it all goes along with your confidence of lining up against who you're lining up against, and what you think your race car is going to do in that given run. Really determines what mindset you have driving the race car down the track. You said it is a short period of time, but 3.5 seconds seems like an eternity anymore. It just slows down for a Top Fuel or funny car driver that much.
Last weekend, I think, was a bit of an education for some people in Top Fuel when we saw that those conditions brought out some good competitions with guys that don't normally get that far on Sunday. Is that more of a concern when you have a track like this?
Yeah, I mean, the hot racetrack has always been the great equalizer in drag racing, particularly in Top Fuel and funny car. It's just so much harder to get your race car to hook up and stay lit on all 8 cylinders. So that's when you see those big upsets like we did in Charlotte, and you could very well see again here on Sunday. So that kind of falls in line with, it's awesome to be #1, and we get 3 bonus points right now for that session. All that's real big for us, but big picture is we've got to figure out how to cleanly get down the racetrack on Sunday 4 times.
What's been the biggest issue that's held you guys back?
We haven't been able to put our finger on it. We're using a new tire this year, but ironically, we tested that tire in Indy last year, so we've never had any problem with it, and I'm sure that's not the problem, but that's the only change that we can figure we have this year in 2016. So we've been through everything from clutch pods, clutch discs, the way we run our motor. I mean, I think he's got grayer by the week this year. It's just making everyone tear their hair out, and fortunately, the Lucas family being patient, and everyone that's stuck with us, and to hopefully have turned the corner and put it on the pole here in St. Louis and start going some rounds, it'll all be worthwhile.
Phil, obviously the countdown didn't start the way you wanted to last week in Charlotte. Was there a message from Aaron or from Morgan or from yourself even to the team? Chin up?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of getting old for us for this year. Keep it up. We know we're a good team. We know we're a contender, but it just didn't go our way. That's kind of what we said after Charlotte, and we had, you know, an unfortunate mishap there, and it cost us first round, but it's going to happen from time to time. It's every round that we run from here on out is just so much more important to us that we're just trying to keep our focus, and that just comes, you know, that falls in line with knowing we have the confidence that in ourselves to be able to go and win races.
As you see your time and your parachute pops out, is there a great sense of relief and pride that overcomes you?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, probably shouldn't be looking up at the scoreboard going 320 something miles an hour, but I saw the 73 pop up. What was weird about that was JR's run. I don't know what I think he ran 77, but that looked like a 73 on the scoreboard from where I was sitting in the lane. So I was like, well, that looked like a 73, and it felt like a really good run, but I'm not gonna, you know, jump out of the race car and do anything until I see the ET slip. And luckily, you know, obviously it was a 73, but yeah, when you see a good number go up on the board, and I guess really just making it to the finish line under power is just really important. I knew the thing was on a really good run by 3:30, and I knew it had stuck, and I knew it was probably going to be a decent time, so I was real happy.
Given your struggles throughout the year, is that the best run you've had since, you know, Gainesville?
It's probably one of, in my opinion, one of the more impressive ones. You know, the next nearest guy was Schumacher with a 75, and that just goes to show, you know, a lot of times you'll see everyone bunched up, and it could be 5 people run 73 tonight. So to be ahead of the field just that little bit more and do it on what seemed to be a trickier racetrack, it's pretty rewarding. We've made some really good runs here lately, but yeah, I think that's definitely one of the top ones.
Okay, I'm good. Yeah.
Thanks, sir. Good to see you.